Hello again, gamers. Welcome back to the Board Game Captain. I'm the Captain, and today I'm going to be reviewing and talking about an expansion to Mijnlieff, which is the Mijnlieff Modular Board expansion. So if you haven't checked out the review and tutorial to Mijnlieff, I'm going to put a link up here above me, and you can check that out before watching this, because this will not make much sense if you don't already know how to play Mijnlieff. But suffice to say, Mijnlieff is a really cool game. It was published by XV Games, and the designer, Andy Hopwood, sent me the Mijnlieff modular board expansion that he sells on his website for like £1.50, which is an amazingly affordable price. Comes in this little plastic baggie, and you can easily stick it in the Mijnlieff bag here. It will fit inside there. He sent me this to check out, so thank you, Andy. Thank you very much for sending this to me. And I'm going to be reviewing this and talking about whether or not I recommend it to you if you're already a fan of Mijnlieff. Before we get started, I do want to say I've got a bunch of links in the description below. There's a link to BoardGameCaptain.com, which is a great hub for all things Board Game Captain. And also, Lynn and I have started doing semi-regular blog posts over there, so go check that out. And also, there is a link to my Teespring store if you want to get some cool Board Game Captain merch, cool mugs and t-shirts, etc. Check that out. Link in the description below. And if you're in a position to and like to support the channel, there's also a link to my Patreon down in the description below. All right, so what do you get when you get the Mijnlieff modular board, which is, again, like I said, this expansion is quite affordable. You get 4 of these little, I'm not sure if they're kind of like a vinyl, maybe? Kind of like vinyl tiles. They're like a bendy plastic kind of feel. And each of them has 4 squares here, as you can see, so that if you were to put them in a square, they would make the normal board from Mijnlieff, but that's not what you're supposed to do with these. What you're supposed to do with these is make all sorts of bizarre shapes, like they show on the card here. I'm going to show a close-up picture of the card on the screen. Here you have a bunch of options of possible shapes, but of course you can come up with your own. I've tried a few of the ones that are suggested here, and they do make really interesting alternate modes of play. So Lynn and I were trying this out. We played a few of the different shapes, and Lynn had specifically said to me she thought that the modular board elevated Mijnlieff and made it better than even the basic game is. And I have to agree with her. I was a big fan of Mijnlieff already. The gameplay in Mijnlieff is very intelligent, very clever, very fun, but these, being able to change the board shape, suddenly made every game feel fresh and new. So if you are a fan of Mijnlieff or thinking of buying Mijnlieff, should you add this in? Should you get this for its very affordable price with the expansion? And I have to say, a resounding yes. This is really freaking cool. Like I say, I do feel this elevates the base game. It totally makes the way the different pieces force your opponent's moves work a bit differently, because if you have a long, thin board, which is something you can have, suddenly if you're playing all the way on one end of the board, the you can't play next to me piece is not as powerful, because if you're all the way on one end, it really leaves most of the board wide open for being able to be played on somewhere else. Which is very interesting. Also, sometimes, like a long, thin board like this, playing in certain areas, the playing anywhere orthogonally in straight lines away from this piece may not be very powerful, but the diagonal one could be super powerful depending on where you play. Because playing the diagonal piece like right here, there's only one space possible if you play it here that your opponent could then play on. If that space is occupied, it's very easy to force them to do a pass, if you can play there. And then it can really make you, really keep you on your toes, trying to make sure you don't play something that would allow your opponent to do that to you, to play in a spot that would make you have to pass your turn, which could be really rough on you in that particular game of Mijnlieff. But of course, Mijnlieff is a very fast game, and when you win, you can set up the board again really quickly in a different format and just play again. And that is awesome. All right, so this is a very affordable, small little expansion that the main thing is it allows you to add unbelievable amounts of variation to every game you play of Mijnlieff. And I have to agree with what Lynn had said. This totally elevates the game. And because of that, I'm going to give the Mijnlieff expansion 9 out of 10 stars. This is fantastic. If you are buying Mijnlieff, or you already have Mijnlieff, I definitely recommend you get this. This is really, really, really cool, and it's a fun way to throw a couple bucks to the designer of Mijnlieff, who definitely deserves it because he designed a really fantastic abstract strategy game, and then also came up with a really awesome affordable expansion to that really awesome abstract strategy game. So I'm going to have a link in the description down below to go to Andy Hopwood's website where you can buy this expansion, the Mijnlieff modular board expansion. And yeah, and one more time, I thoroughly recommend this to you. 9 out of 10 stars. Definitely really awesome expansion. This does exactly what you want an expansion for an abstract to do, which is take that abstract and add a whole new level to it. Add a massive amount of variety to your games that you didn't have prior with the static board, and that is great. There you have it. If you have tried this expansion, let me know in the comments down below. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about the Mijnlieff modular board expansion, also feel free to comment down below. And if you enjoyed this review of a board game expansion, you'd like to see me do more like it, be sure to give this video a like, share it on all forms of social media, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Board Game Captain. That's Captain spelled with a K on YouTube. And until next time, game on.